Welcome to the After Chat. I'm Michael,
I'm Madison.
and today we're talking about having a positive attitude.
Yeah.
You ready?
I sure am.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the After Chat. Real questions. Real talk. Real life.
I know you didn't watch a whole lot of TV growing up, did you?
I didn't.
So, do you have a favorite TV show from when you were young?
I do, but so here we didn't watch a lot of TV. We didn't even have a TV for most of my childhood, but there was a window of time where we had a TV that had an antenna that could get local channels, and we had like a window where like a couple times a week we could watch what came on PBS. So my favorite TV show growing up, which is our first question, which is why we're talking about TV. My favorite TV show growing up was like Between the Lions on PBS.
Okay.
It was like a reading show for kids.
Okay.
And then also right after Between the Lions, this other show would come on called Zoom, which was like kids doing like science experiments, and also they were like dancing, and it was, I don't know, it was public networking.
Yeah.
Educational shows for kids. It was a good time.
I love that.
Between the Lions had really cool lion puppets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with either one of those.
I bet Sarah in our room where we're doing recording, I bet that she's watched it before, because it was pretty big on public broadcasting, like for a hot second there. It's big with the 90s youths. Between the Lions taught a lot of us how to read.
Yes. So I mean, PBS has taught a lot. Like whenever I was little, like PBS was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Sesame Street. When my girls were young, PBS was Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which was a sequel to Mr. Rogers. Like it was all of his puppets and all the things, and a show called Super Y.
Yeah.
That show was awesome. Like Super Y, they would use their superpowers, the powers to read, to solve a mystery, and it was awesome. Like my girls each of them had all of the Super Y little figures and characters, Princess
cute.
P and Wyatt and Little Red and all the things. Like it was great. And the pig, like one of the three little pigs.
I was nannying a family of kids probably a little bit past when your girls would have been watching it, but it was still on TV when I was nannying in that zone. And we watched Super Y a lot. They loved it. And Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood was one of their favorites too. Like PBS just it rocks. It's awesome.
No, and one of my favorite shows was on. I had two that I absolutely loved. One was Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, we've talked about that
like
before.
That game show.
That was a cool looking show.
Like you had Rockapella, which sang the song, and the Chief and all the things. So loved that show. Like it taught me all about, all the different countries and the cities and all of those things. The other one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
See, now that one I haven't seen.
Like that,
but I've heard good things.
Like the 1987, 86, 87 one. That was it.
Were you was Power Rangers around the same time as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, that came, I think Power Rangers started when I was in high school.
Okay. See, I've never watched either of them. I just know that I feel like I often hear people talk about both of them at the same time, as like they were both awesome. Yeah.
No, some of them, there was crossover depending upon how old you were.
What's your favorite turtle?
I mean, it really depends on mood. But if I had to,
all right.
But if I'm feeling sassy, then Raphael, like most deaf. So
the switch up depends on not how you feel about them, but how you identify
what
with
mood
their mood.
I'm in. Yes.
I thought you're like, sometimes I just really don't like one of them.
No. I think they're all great.
That's funny.
It depends on my own personal emotional state on which turtle I'm identifying with at the moment.
Do you think it affected your interest as a child in pepperoni pizza? Because wasn't that a big thing? They were really into
they
pizza.
love pizza. They love pizza.
Yeah.
Like all the toppings. Some of them are very weird, but
I see. I thought it was just pepperoni.
No,
that they did.
they would get all the things, but no, it did affect everybody's Like Pizza Hut got huge
Oh, I bet.
during that time frame.
I bet. That's funny.
So what is something that you're currently learning or trying to get better at?
Well, okay, so my role here at work has me living a little bit more, significantly more in the music world now than I used to live in, which I love. But I have always been, in my opinion, like a little bit of a subpar instrumentalist. I feel like I can sing, I can sing well, and I can adapt my singing to whatever is happening if it needs to happen. Musically, I don't always have the capability of doing that just because I do not have the skills. So I'm really really diving into music theory and specifically like chord structures, how to basically like how to look at something and identify what's going on in the song without having to stop and think through everything. It's like I understand it, but my recall is not as quick as I would like it to be. So music theory, also just playing my two main instruments that I'm focused on right now are it's guitar and piano. So it's just spending more time with them so that I can do things at the speed and I can pivot in the ways that I want to when I need to.
So what does that look like in real time?
So like acoustic is a lot easier if we change keys for a song that we're going to do here on Sunday. Acoustic's a whole lot easier to adapt because I can just use a capo. I don't want to have to.
Which is what? I'm sorry.
Sorry. A capo is you can put it on your guitar and it basically forces the same chord. So I could be playing a G chord, but we're going to do it a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Well, that other chord shape's really hard to play. So if I put a capo on, it forces the easier chord shape that I can play well to be the right key.
Okay.
But that is kind of cheating a little bit, and it'd be like me walking up to a piano, going to play a song, needing to change the key and using like the transpose button to force it to be in the right key.
Okay.
It gets you through the day, but it is not helping you get any better because you're not forcing yourself to learn new skills or learn new chords or learn how to move between things in a more seamless way. Like it's sort of like staying stuck in what you've always known and not progressing. It's a helpful tool. It's not what I want to live in all the time.
Okay.
So, and then just music theory in general, I feel like I've always had like a little bit of a grasp on what's going on, but I cannot follow it at the pace that I want to. So being able to keep up with people on my team or with the people that I work with, it's like I don't want to have to like sit there and be like, oh, okay, I know what you're saying. I get it now. Like
Okay.
I just want to be able to translate quicker. So I'm spending a lot of time in that recently.
So does that really like inform like the whys for things? Like why certain things work as opposed to why certain things might not work? Like when you say like understanding music theory.
Yeah. So like one of them might be I'm naturally drawn to occasionally trying to throw in a harmony part vocally that is clashing with the chord that's playing. It might not clash. It might just be that note is not there in the chord. So like when you have chords on your chord chart, you can have like a regular G chord, or you could have like a G7 chord where like the seventh of that chord is added in. That affects where you're vocally, like how you're vocally harmonizing with everything. I want to like throw that extra thing in even if the chord isn't telling me to, kind of a thing. So It's like if I get somebody laying out this is what the harmony part should be, I just can track with it better if I can understand in real time everything that's going on. So it's like, it's the little cherries on top of like, yes, I can get through everything right now the way that it is. And I'm surrounded by some amazing musicians on my team that are just incredible and know everything, and it's awesome. But I don't want them to have to carry me for forever. I want to get better myself, you know?
Well,
yeah.
Mine's not as exciting.
Mine's not very exciting either. It's a headache a little bit.
I think yours is very interesting, which is why I asked, like, I think 3 follow-up questions. So there's a store that opened up in Farmville. It's called the Farmville Mercantile.
Ooh.
It's a super cool odds and ends little Main Street store.
That's fun.
Near a coffee shop that I hold a lot of meetings at and things. And I went in there around Christmas. There's a a kid that is always at church on Sundays. Like his parents serve on Sunday morning, so he's always there very early. Like just a cool little dude. And so for Christmas this year, I went into that store and they had these old school yo-yos.
Oh,
They're metal. They're super heavy. They're very cool. Like like a
they're like the professional
like
ones.
a 1965 yo-yo, like
Dang,
the
okay.
real deal. And I saw those and I was like, oh, Sean's gonna love this thing.
Oh,
And so I got him one and I got one for myself. And I've been practicing a lot of yo-yo.
are you doing
things.
tricks yet? Or are you just working on the general?
I'm working on like getting it to stall, like where you just drop it down and it keeps spinning and then you can pull it up.
I feel like I used to have a yo-yo trick book when I was a kid, and I never learned any of them. But for some reason, like I know that there are a couple different like tricks.
Oh no, like
that
you
are,
can
like,
do like a
interesting.
cradle,
Yeah.
like and it spins, it just keeps going back and forth, and then you just like and bring it up.
Very cool. I just like the sound effect.
And I'm hoping to be able to do it for real one day.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring it on the podcast when you get there. You're gonna have to show everyone a fun trick.
That's something that I've been learning and trying to get better at. Is my yo-yo skills.
That's got to be good for your brain to like just always be working on some new skill. Like,
you have to focus.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So it's not cool. It's not going to help me professionally in any way.
Love it. I think it's awesome.
But that's the one that I'm trying. That's something that I'm trying to get better
I wish I had a fun hobby I was trying to get better at that's outside of work and everything, because it might be a good transition in the evenings to like turn off work mode. But
I will be in Farmville most of tomorrow. I can pick you up a yo-yo and bring it in for you. What's one small thing that instantly improves your mood as we're getting ready to shift into this conversation?
Well, okay, so for right now, I guess I hope it's a small thing. The weather, like being nice, like getting to go outside and there being sunshine. Like I love a good cozy rainy day. But like that's this is nice, cozy. I feel I don't want that all of the time. But when I wake up and I'm like driving to work and there's sunshine and it's nice out, or I'm ending my evening and it's really beautiful out, like it feels like it makes everything 10 times better.
Oh, 100%. Like yesterday was beautiful weather.
Gorgeous.
And so me and my youngest, we went outside and we like weeded our landscape beds and just hung out outside and for probably 2.5 hours yesterday.
Do you want to hear a funny story about landscape beds real quick? So my friend Molly she's married to one of our pastors here on staff, Tanner. She texted me the other day about how, guess what happened, blah, blah, blah. Tanner was outside telling me he was weeding our beds in the front of the house. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And she went out there. He had weeded her daffodils.
Oh no!
He didn't know that they weren't to be weeded out.
Mine are already blooming.
I think it's daffodils. I could be wrong. Anyways, it's basically something was about to bloom and he accidentally weeded her flower.
See, mine was like we weeded everything so we could see them better.
Yeah.
Love it.
He was trying his best.
It was done with good intention.
Yes.
Did that with some blackberries last year. I just went hog wild. Mine's looking at my bird feeder camera. Like, it really just is. This is the time of year when the thrushes go back to Canada, and so like I'm gonna miss seeing and watching them go out and eat, and they usually sit and sing on the feeder for a little bit. The juncos have left; they've gone back up above the Arctic Circle, but like now you're gonna start seeing a lot more bluebirds and cardinals, and hopefully some grosbeaks will come through as they're traveling.
That's a sad name.
Oh, they're beautiful though. They're
But,
like they're like
gross
red, white, and black.
It sounds like insulting them, like grosbeaks.
Oh,
It
yes.
sounds like saying they're gross.
No, I mean they are unfortunately
They don't know.
named.
It's okay. They don't know it.
But they should be traveling soon between here and South America. I can sit in the evening and just watch the videos and look at the pictures all day long. Like
That's how I feel about wind chimes. I could sit and listen to wind chimes and like watch them like move outside like for a long time. Wonderful.
Some of them do sound nice.
Yeah. Every once in a while, they'll get a bit irksome if it's too windy. But like a nice, gentle, like, doom, doom, it's nice.
Last one leading into this.
Yeah.
Was there a moment in your life when you had to intentionally choose a positive attitude?
Almost always. I love to be negative. That is like my baseline is very easily being negative. So if I have a good mood, it is because I'm choosing to have a good mood and put myself in a space where I'm reminding myself that is more freeing for me. It's more freeing for others. I'm trying to think of like a very specific moment that wouldn't be like sharing information that I shouldn't share. But I will say, like, for me, it's usually whenever there is like, when I feel like I'm failing personally, that's when I need to like really, really stop and say, okay, I have to choose to think about myself in this situation positively, because then it really gets into a territory where I can live in so much negativity about myself or about what other people are thinking about me or how everything's going, that I will then make things worse in my negativity. So it's not a specific situation, but definitely like if I'm being negative towards myself and feeling like a failure, that's like, whoa, I need to put the brakes on and remind myself of some true stuff.
So I'm prone to doing that as well. Like I can be a glass half empty, negative Nelly kind of fella. So when that happens for you, are you prone to then reacting poorly and potentially like taking a situation that was probably like a level 3 to like a level 10?
I hope not. I hope that I don't do that. I feel like I have gotten into I don't mind conflict. So whenever it involves other people, I'm usually, or even if it doesn't involve other people, usually I'm in a space where I am clinging to pulling other people's perspectives in to help mine shift. Now, if it's like not a big deal in real life and it's just like, oh, I'm having a negative day and I'm being a little bit of a grump, then I might not slow down enough to do that. I will say like I can be really negative about like the stuff that I like watch in the evenings. My friend Connie likes to call me a hater because like almost everything that I do while I unwind, I'm like super judgmental about, like the writing of TV shows or the like the pacing of them or the shots or like plots not making sense. Like for some reason that is like the one thing that my negativity like constantly will come out on in a way that it feels safe enough. It's a show, I'm not hurting anybody's feelings, but I'm sure it's annoying to watch TV around me when I'm like, that didn't make sense. They didn't create the plot right. Or like, I would have done that differently. Like I don't stop myself there. I can make it worse. But I hope that I cling to other people, to shift my attitude when I'm spiraling down.
No, for me, I almost have. There's a lot of times where I just walk around. It's going to be a good day. Like, what's going on, Hedrick? Everything is going great because it's going to be a good day.
You're like talking yourself
I'm
into it.
I'm talking myself up.
Yeah.
Because I can.
That's a good skill.
My default is kind of grumpy.
Yeah.
Like that. My baseline personality is kind of grumpy.
Yeah. I think it depends. I think it depends for me what is going on in my day, whether or not my baseline is grumpy, but I definitely have a strong tendency to grump. Very strong tendency. Yeah.
I love it. Well, what does the Bible have to say about cultivating a healthy, resilient mindset?
Quite a lot.
So for me, we go back to a classic, Philippians 4:8-13. So I'll hit it all up front, and then we'll break down a couple verses here.
Sweet.
Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. I rejoiced greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength.
What a banger of a scripture.
That
right
is a
there.
banger of a scripture.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't have anything to do with performing on an athletic field. It has to do with that verse 13 when you take it in context. It's about your thought life and being able to be content whatever your circumstances.
Yeah.
So when you look at verses 8 and 9 where it says, list all the things that you should think about. It's all about training your thoughts. This is about filtering what you choose to dwell on. Like, he's not denying the hardships. He wrote this from prison, by the way. So, I mean, he's not talking about,
he has the life experience to make this statement.
And there's a lot of family system theories where people just ignore all of the things.
Yeah.
He's not talking about ignoring all of the things. He talked about up front, like where he was at.
Yeah.
So it's not talking about just ignoring the stuff. But it's about not letting negativity dominate your inner life. So some things that you can do. Am I catastrophizing? Dude, I am if there was a gold medal event for catastrophizing, I'm winning that event all day long.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine the worst all the time.
Oh yeah.
So is it true or am I catastrophizing? Is this honorable or is it gossip and fear? I also love what do my kids call it? Spilling the tea.
Yes.
Like when they come home and I get the full lowdown and before you know it, I can be just sucked in. She said, what? He did this? Instead of, okay, well, what did you do to make the situation better?
Yes.
or things like that.
Yeah. I love that it's gossip and fear there being grouped in the two, because sometimes even if your intention isn't to talk about the situation in a way that can make other people look bad, it can still be raising yourself up because you're letting the fear take over.
Yes.
I'm glad it put both there. That's such a great thing to say.
So is it honorable or is it just gossip or fear mongering? Those can both be they can look different on the surface but actually be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that this might happen, this might happen, this might happen? Well, has any of it been checked out to see if it's even true or not?
Yep.
No. But we're going to pretend that it is, and we're going to ramp ourselves up, and before you know it, it's threat level midnight, and I've already catastrophized something I made a mountain out of a molehill.
Yep.
Is this pure, or am I feeding resentment?
Ooh, that's a rough one.
I can feed resentment. I can sit there and be just as bitter as everybody else. And we all can.
It feels good.
I mean, yes. It does. There's an entire Metallica song about it called "Oh Poor Twisted Me" that chews on suffering and peace on sympathy and all the things. And you did something once where you was I think you was talking about dopamine. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
People feast on that.
Yes.
They will feed on resentment.
Absolutely.
Is there anything admirable here that I can focus on and encourage? Is there anything here that I can champion, or a small step that I can take to make a situation better and put those things into practice, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be taking all of the things about loving God and loving people and filtering it through this and seeing if there's anything that you can put into practice from Jesus' teachings.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think the most frustrating thing for me in this, I love the tools of questions that you can ask yourself to kind of flesh out what is the perspective that you're taking. For me, the most frustrating thing about myself in this process is that it can take so long to actually stop and answer those questions.
Yes.
That I feel like I am not at the point where I'm always able to do it in real time. It has to happen in my downtime when I'm by myself.
Yes.
Like I can do it when I'm chewing on it by myself, but when I'm in the moment trying to jumpstart my attitude or realizing that I'm off or funky, like it's just I'm not quick with it yet. And I would
I'm
like
not
to
either.
be. I would like to be quicker with it, but it takes me some time for sure.
No, I mean, full disclosure, I'm not saying that I sit there and I filter every single thought. It to what Madison just said. It's not something that I am good at in the moment. Sometimes I will try to be, and I will want to pump the brakes on something.
Yeah.
Or stop a conversation before it gets out of hand.
Yeah.
And if I'm being real, like sometimes that just ends up being something that I end up burying and then not ever coming back to. Like if you're not good at digging the thing back out.
Yeah.
I've done that before. So
Yeah.
this is just something where it's a discipline like anything else. And the more that you practice, the more that you will get better at it. But it's not always easy to do it in the moment.
There was a point in my life where I couldn't even slow the spiral down if I was, by myself without even having to think through, what am I saying out loud towards other people? Like, so I can already see the way that practicing this has benefited me. I think it's just easy to be discouraged and wish you could do it better.
Yes.
But that's why we keep coming back to it, so we can get better.
Yes. And we will circle back to where we can get the strength to do this in a moment. And, verse 10 and 12 is about just learning to be content. Like Paul learned to be content, whether he had plenty, whether he wanted things, where he was full, whether he was hungry. He had learned to detach his internal condition from his external circumstances.
Yes.
And and this is if I will be positive if X gets better. Paul teaches that your peace isn't contingent on your situation. And a lot of us do that. If only X was better, then I wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But that's not what.
Then you're just going to be living in like these big highs and lows.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to focus on the things that you have that you could be grateful for or joyous about that are right there around you because you're constantly looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like Yoda had something to say about that with Luke, like always on the horizon you were looking, never on what was around you and what you were doing.
Yeah.
It just removes your ability to be happy in the moment if you're constantly looking at what appears to be greener grass over there.
Yeah.
So he's talking about contentment shifts from if X changes I'll be okay to Christ is steady so I can be steady. And it's not about ignoring the things that you have going on around you, but a positive outlook grows when stability is internal and spiritual and not based on your circumstances.
Yes.
And then verse 13 is where it all kind of ties together. We can do all these things because Christ strengthens us.
Yes.
It's not about winning games or crushing your goals. In context, what that verse means is I can endure any season, lack or abundance because Christ strengthens me. And that is where your outlook is anchored. And that's where Paul's outlook was anchored here in his relationship with Christ. So it's not, I've got this, it's Christ has me. And so when you put it all together, you're guarding your thoughts, you're learning contentment because you are depending on Christ. Like that's kind of where I like that particular little chunk of scripture.
Yeah.
Like whenever you look at it, there is real practicality there. It's not just a tattoo or or something like I can go out and win the game-winning touchdown because I can do all things through Christ. Like it really does speak to your internal state.
Yeah, I like it. I think that it's one of those really good. Earlier, one of the questions was something that always makes you always puts you into a positive attitude. This is one of the scriptures that I think is like my quickest attitude adjustment to read over because of the way that it sort of like takes you, even though it's only, what is it? It's 8 through 13.
Yeah.
So it's
it's 5 verses.
It's not that many verses, but the way that it like takes you on that journey, it just it just makes me, it just kind of makes me like, oh, okay, like sort of, all right, I'm not doing what I should be doing, kind of a thing. Like it just, I don't know, it's a kick in my pants. I don't know any other way to say it, but it's been very, very helpful for me. There's another scripture that I also, in the realm of positive thinking, having a positive attitude, that is a good adjustment for me, and that one is 1 Thessalonians 5, and this one is verses 16 through 18. And it says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." I feel like this is like a quicker, it's just like a quicker way to have the same attitude adjustment that the previous one had, but it still gives you tools. It's still telling you this is what you should be focusing on. If you're rejoicing always, then you don't have room to sit in discontentment. If you're praying without ceasing, then you don't have time in your day to sit with these big, huge, heavy thoughts without taking them to God, because you're continually praying. If you're giving thanks in all circumstances, again, you don't have time to sit in this discontentment, because you're stopping and you're actually reminding yourself that there's something to be thankful for in every circumstance. And then to end with, this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. To me, that's like a, not only should I be doing this, but this is God's best for my life. This is his ideal design, is for me to always be rejoicing, always be praying, always be giving thanks. So it's a much briefer one to pause on, but it is also one that I feel like has just as much of an impactful attitude adjustment for me, and highlighting what I may be not doing that could be helpful. Is there one there? So there, it lists 3 there: rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances. Is there one of those in particular that you notice you have either a harder time catching when you're not doing, or a harder time getting yourself in that mode to do if you are pulled into like a little bit of a funky mindset, which was challenging?
If I get pulled into a funky mindset, it's much more difficult for me to start rejoicing.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that becomes the hardest. I will keep praying to God. I will keep venting to God. I will keep complaining to God.
Yeah.
I will keep complaining to God, and I will keep my focus right there on the things that are upsetting me instead of the things that I have to be rejoiceful about or to be praising.
Yeah.
And so then I will feel like I'm doing something positive with it, because I'm still talking to him. Like the line of communication is open.
Yeah.
But my focus is still on the thing.
Yeah.
And not on the gifts that he's already given me.
Yeah.
That's
I,
where I get hung up.
I had a really hard time. So not everybody who's watching this is probably aware of this situation exactly. I've mentioned it before that my husband lives in England. We're working on him immigrating over here, and the good news is that we passed one of the phases. So we've gotten approval, which means yes, we've seen some progress finally. But one of the hardest things for me, especially in my prayer time, was I could process all of my, God, I trust that you that you have this. I trust that you've brought us together for a reason, and that we will get to live together because that's your design for marriage, and that we know that God wants us to be partnered together because we make each other look more like Christ. So we know that we're moving in the direction we're supposed to be moving in. Thankful for the blessings that we have, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still sad because I'm not around him, and that sucks and that's hard. So I would say like the rejoicing always is it is challenging. But during 21 days earlier this year, when we had 21 days of prayer, I would have like a specific Psalms that I would kind of like talk myself through, and I've hung out in that Psalms for quite a while. And we're going to mention it later when we get to like the practical things of what we can do. But it was like a manual attitude adjustment. And I had to start with the praying and the giving thanks, and then I could shift into the rejoicing. So I feel like it's interesting to me that this scripture presents it backwards, because I feel like it gets you in the face with the thing that is the hardest to do, the rejoicing always. And I just thought that was an interesting point there.
Yes. I mean, because it's difficult whenever you're looking around and your circumstances are not all that great.
Yeah. And you can be sad and still rejoice.
Yes.
It's a skill that you have to grow.
It is a discipline.
Yeah.
Like it really is about where's your attention focused.
Yep.
On what you're lacking or what you feel like you're lacking, because sometimes those can be different things.
Yep.
Like just because you feel like you're lacking doesn't mean that you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a bitter pill for me to swallow because I feel what I feel and I want to feel it, and then I want everybody else around me to know exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. Also, it's the whole thing of like I think we can be very entitled when we've been living in seasons where what we want aligns with God's timing. It can be very easy to live in entitlement. At least for me, it's easy for me to live in entitlement of, God, I'm living my life for you, and I want my partner here, but God didn't promise me a marriage in the first place. Like it's
true.
a gift. It's a gift to even just have someone who understands me so well, and to have someone to miss so much in the first place. So what is keeping me from rejoicing in the first place? Is it my own expectations of what God should be doing for me that he didn't actually promise? Because if I can confront that, then it's a lot easier to find gratitude and thankfulness for what he has given me that is above and beyond what I have even been promised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to pick this up. You're actually going to hear from the Farmville worship coordinator.
Yeah.
She did a Devo during 21 days.
Yes. I would strongly recommend everyone to watch the whole thing because it's not that long.
No,
it's a very easy, quick bite of a message to watch. Yeah.
Yes. I think the time limit that we had for them was like 5 to 7 minutes.
Yes.
So
it's good stuff.
But check this out from Amanda Flint.
According to the psalmist, there is always something that I can be thankful for. Regardless of the temperature of my feelings toward God or the people in my life or any kind of challenge I'm facing, there is always something that I can thank God for. And that's true for you too. If you're in a place where prayer comes as a challenge, or if you're having trouble getting started, you can always begin with, God, I'm so grateful for who you are. I'm grateful for another day of life, for the people that you've placed around me. And once you're thinking about the things that you're grateful for, it can change your whole perspective for the day. And I believe it deepens your relationship with God.
No, I think Amanda really nailed it.
Absolutely.
Right there. In pretty much every single psalm, even the ones where the writer is asking God to smite people or expressing a lot of big emotions and big feelings, they almost always come back to something that is a thank you for this.
Yeah.
Nearly all of them do. And so that is something that we should keep in mind as well, regardless of what both of the verses and scriptures that we looked at had some form of that. Think of something that you have that is praiseworthy that you can give thanks for. So I just had a quick little way to apply what's in Philippians there. If you find yourself slipping into negativity, it happens to everybody.
Yep.
Catch yourself. Like you have to be able to recognize it in yourself, or if somebody points it out to you.
Yeah.
Just catch yourself. And then whatever your thoughts are or whatever your inner monologue is, I've got a pretty brutal inner critic. I think you have one too.
Yeah.
Just to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that's going through there, filter it. Is it helpful? Is it true? Is it honoring of God? Replace it with something that is true. This is like something like, this is hard, but God has been faithful before. I can handle this because Christ has me. That might be what you need to do.
Yeah.
Just some way to catch it, filter it, and then replace it.
Yeah. A quick phrase like that, I'm sure, is super helpful to have on hand.
Catch it, filter it, replace it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is for contentment training, every night for a little while, write down 3 things that were good that day.
Yeah.
And if you have one, write one thing that was hard, but God sustained you through it.
That's a good one to add on the list. Yeah.
Then you have something a list of things that you can look back on and say, man, I was in hard seasons like this before when I went through X, when I went through Y, when I went through Z, and God got me through all of them. So he will probably get me through this one too. If I just rely on him.
Yeah.
So that's a quick way that you can apply
That's good.
those scriptures that we read.
That's good. This one, my suggestion is a little bit more of an upfront sort of like project, but it's something that you can revisit regularly whenever you need it. And it's find a psalm that like you really identify with the emotion behind, but then go through it and replace the things that they are crying out to God about or asking for. Replace it with your own language or your own situations, and then read through it, because like Amanda shared, most of the time they will end rejoicing about God's character or rejoicing about what God has already done for them. And so then you will naturally take yourself on the same progression that the psalmist took themselves on as they wrote out their own thing. And then you don't have to like struggle for all of the words every time you're feeling big things about it. So if it's a particular situation, like it is for me with wanting a certain season of life to be done with, or wanting to get through this hard thing of being alone and wanting my person here, like I don't have to stop and do all of the same exact language to express my feelings. I can turn to something that is helping me express it and helping me adjust my attitude in an easier way than when I'm by myself. So that's been very helpful for me. And then in a similar vein, the how you mentioned just a gratitude list, just constantly pushing yourself to write down the things that you are grateful for, because gratitude does not happen by accident. It happens on purpose. It's a practice, and being in a regular rhythm where you are sort of like highlighting what is good about what you're facing is essential. It's not just like a good bonus that will get you through. It's essential to seeing how God is moving in your life.
No, I think it's really important that just to make a note of, this is a discipline and something that has to be that is trainable.
Yes.
I don't think this is anybody's default.
No.
even some of the most positive people around here, that whenever I've been like, how you just have the patience of a saint. Like you just are always in a great mood. And one person, she said, well, it didn't start out this way. Like it's something that is trained. It's something that you have to keep working on. It is a discipline like anything else, and contentment definitely is that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, though, because that's another really practical thing that someone could do is find the person in your life that is super positive all the time. Ask them what they're doing and ask them to help encourage you, because if they're already really good about being positive, then they're probably already looking for ways to celebrate positive things in other people's lives, because they've put this practice into place. So they could most likely be a very, very helpful encouragement to you.
100%.
Yeah.
So, well, this was a good one.
Yeah.
Before we forget, we do have something that we can read.
Yeah.
Came from @JaredCodeAir 3062.
Hey, Jared.
What's up, Jared? On YouTube. It was on the episode of Trusting God's Timing. Our man Jared says this. This is a very interesting topic, especially in the season. So this episode came out 2 months ago, so that would have been January.
I think it was closer to the end of December. YouTube's timing is weird. I remember this episode in particular.
Okay.
I think it was around holidays.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I loved Madison's parents' philosophy referencing their children's aspirations in that, quote, our ceiling will be their floor, paraphrasing, parentheses. Very poignant.
Yeah.
So our man Jared is going to get an After Chat mug.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be on its way out to him at some point. Sarah will get that sent out.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, all the things. That's how we can get our little channel out there more, and hopefully take some of the good news of the Lord out to the people. And if you leave us a review, we will also send you a mug as well. And we will see you back here soon for another episode of the After Chat.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for the After Chat. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with others. Post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To be the first to hear our next episode, Be sure to hit the subscribe button and get notifications for new content. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram at PCCWired and Facebook at Passion Community Church. For additional resources and links, check out the description. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on The After Chat.